What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I made friends with a shank. So I was just AFK in this mission, and a shank approached me and actually came to hang out for a little while, which I thought was pretty reasonable. But then another shank turned up and he wanted to join the party, but he actually betrayed me, which is rather rude, so I was left with just one shank friend. So what have we learned here? Well, I don't know, actually. I suppose we should just get into the video. But today we've got some pretty interesting stuff to talk about, guys. We've got a new interview with Scott Taylor, who talks about content in the Dreaming City, changes we can expect, and secret exotics, which is pretty interesting. We even get some words about Festival of the Lost, the Masterwork economy, and future extended content coming to Destiny. So it's going to be a pretty interesting one. On top of this, I wanted to talk about collectibles in Dreaming City, some new annual pass pre-order bonuses that you can collect in-game right now, and plenty of other Destiny-related stuff to round up in this video, guys. Before we get into it, though, my friends over at Now Drinks are doing a special this weekend, and this is for Now Drinks Sense, which is designed for gamers and aims to improve focus and memory with their lemon balm and elderberry drink, which is super tasty, by the way, and you can get 10% off on the special this weekend, so if you want to check that out, the link will be down below. I definitely recommend it for you guys. But now, getting into the content, Scott Taylor did an interview with Japanese website EAA. We get some pretty interesting insights about the game. So EAA asked, Dreaming City has entered a 3-week cycle that will continue to change. Does Petra move every week according to this? And do you have plans to add fast travel points? And Scott Taylor says Petra moves every week. Regarding fast travel, we want players to be able to navigate the Dreaming City and actually learn the space, so there is no additional fast travel point. So that isn't going to change. We'll have to continue to actually travel around Dreaming City, which personally I don't mind. It's nice to be able to get back to the initial spawn quickly, but instead of just fast traveling around the entire location, we're actually learning the location. Next though, they talk about future content and some stuff that we'll see very soon. So EAA ask about Festival of the Lost, and can you give us more details? Scott Taylor says, Festival of the Lost will come back. It will be very cool content, but the details cannot be disclosed now. We'll be able to talk about this within the next few weeks. And of course, it won't be long whatsoever until they actually speak about Festival of the Lost, because that is an event we normally get in October. We did see one little glimpse right here of what the tower will look like when Festival of the Lost comes back. We can see a guardian kneeling down, and there is actually the icon of a character right there in the middle. Some people had speculated, is this Zavala? Is it Osiris? We don't really know. Could be a new character, or a character we haven't actually interacted with before, but it is obviously going to be linked to the lore of this particular Festival of the Lost, so I'll be curious to hear any speculation you guys have below. Next though, EAA ask, do you have secret missions like the exotic weapon, Whisper of the Worm? And Scott Taylor says, we have, however, I will not speak to it since it is a secret, but that essentially confirms there is some sort of hidden, similar kind of style of exotic drop where it would be something that pops up unexpectedly. And I also wonder as well, does that mean it would be an exotic that is kind of mysterious and we don't really know about? Because that's what they did with Whisper of the Worm. They slipped up a little bit early on because we saw the Masterwork icon for it, which of course looked like the Black Spindle. But apart from that, it was never visible in the database. We never saw the name of it. We didn't know it was called Whisper of the Worm until it dropped. And so it was one of the most secretive exotics that we've ever had. And considering, obviously, we saw a lot of exotics in the promotional material for this DLC, so we know about things like Malfeasance and the Wishender, which we can't get yet. I do wonder if there is something completely and utterly hidden that we're not expecting. If you do look in the database, there are exotics listed here which are classified, and a couple of them are listed as intrinsics, which would actually be an exotic perk. So maybe these classified exotics that we're seeing right here are actually going to be weapons or armor or something that will come into the game. Scott Taylor has, however, confirmed that there will be something similar to how Whisper of the Worm works, but obviously we can only speculate as to what it's going to be. On the subject of potential new content though, I did make a video yesterday breaking down that Callum's grave had been found, and this is going to be a location required for the Malfeasance quest. On top of this, Bungie have hinted that next week, or this coming week's reset, that would be on the 25th, we are going to see some kind of substantial content that will begin a story that takes place and rolls out over a number of weeks, which is really exciting. So I'll link that video down below if you want to get more details on it. But EAA do ask about Masterwork cores and why they're used for infusion. And Scott Taylor says he can't speak to exactly what they're going to do just yet, but it is something that the team is looking at. And some of the community managers at Bungie had also confirmed that there are changes they're working on to be brought into the game shortly. So I'll keep you guys posted if we hear anything about it. They did ask a question about future content and whether Scott Taylor will be working on it. And he says that currently Bungie is concentrating on the production of Black Armory, Joker's Wild, and Penumbra, which of course are the annual pass content drops. Scott Taylor says, in reality, I'm involved in the development of future Destiny content, but I do not know whether to serve as a lead role. And the writer of this article did actually post onto Reddit and clarified some of these questions and said that Scott Taylor essentially means he's working on content for Destiny 2 that comes after the annual pass. So of course, if that is the case, it means that we are going to see another big expansion for Destiny, probably in September of 2019, as opposed to Destiny 3 being announced and pushed out then instead, which of course is not entirely unexpected. Scott Taylor also says they're working on adding private matches for Gambit soon, so it is a pretty interesting interview, some cool insights in there. I'll link this one down below if you want to check it out. But on the subject of the annual pass, there are now some annual pass pre-order bonuses available in game. So if you've pre-ordered the annual pass, you can get the Wisteria Orbit Shell, the Always North shader, which I can't say I'm a huge fan of right there, but there is the Buckthorn approach, this is the ship, and you can get a Sparrow as well. So if you do have the annual pass already, these items have been added, but Bungie say they are going to update this and actually add more items throughout the year for folks who have the annual pass. So that'll certainly be pretty useful. One element of the game which may be linked to an exotic at some point in the future would be the corrupted eggs in the Dreaming City. So that's actually what they're called. They look like crystals. I've seen them called many different things, but the game actually calls them corrupted eggs, and there is a triumph that you can unlock called the Corrupted Omelette, which I think is an absolutely hilarious title, but this is actually for collecting some of these eggs. Now, Rax the Mighty over on Reddit has actually started compiling all of the known locations of these. They're all throughout the Dreaming City, throughout different Ascendant challenges. And there's also a lot of speculation in some of these Reddit posts about exactly how we might be able to destroy these. Is it that they require a certain power level? If that's the case, it would be a very high power level, perhaps even 600. So you'd have to get, within so many points of that power level to actually damage them. It could be a thing, but I personally think it's probably a specific condition or way that they have to actually be destroyed. I thought a pretty interesting idea, and this was somewhere on Reddit, this isn't my idea, but someone said, perhaps you actually need the Wish Ender first, because of course that does have True Sight where you can actually look through things. Wouldn't it be really cool if you could look into the eggs and maybe you need to destroy certain ones? Maybe there'd be baby Ahamkaras or some other crazy creature inside of these eggs, which definitely seems pretty likely. And I guess the concept is that you destroy the eggs so that the curse or whatever is in the eggs doesn't get out and make everything in Dreaming City even worse. Either way, it's definitely going to be very interesting. Certainly some kind of pursuit, a long tail pursuit that will lead us to some kind of new content, because of course you do have to go through different Ascendant challenges that aren't always available. And if there are 6 Ascendant challenges, that could be, 12 crystals in different challenges. So it would take at least another 6 weeks, probably longer, to cycle back through and get all of these. So we're not going to be collecting all of these for a little while yet, and that definitely makes it pretty curious stuff. Now though, let's talk about the Last Wish raid just for a moment. Of course, the Wall of Wishes is something that players are still unlocking over time and discovering new wishes for. I spoke about some new ones yesterday. Another one has been discovered. This is Wish 12, to open your mind to new ideas, and it gives all party members a random head ornament kind of effect, which kind of looks like a crown of roses on your head. So pretty bizarre stuff. Wish 13, 14, and 15 still need to be discovered, as well as wishes 1, 9, and 10. Once all 15 have been discovered, it'll be very interesting to see what happens, because it feels like there will be some kind of significant change or event that could actually occur because of this. Bear in mind that we're taking wishes from a wish dragon right here. This has the capacity to become somewhat complicated for sure, but that's going to round up today's video, guys. So a lot of stuff to look forward to, more Dreaming City content, some of it coming this week, which is super cool. Festival of the Lost being announced soon, and I think there will be reasons to be interested in that event. There was a lot of feedback about live events in Destiny 1, and in Destiny 2 early on, and then we saw things like Solstice of Heroes, where Bungie really stepped it up and created rewards that players would actually really want to kind of pursue. Although it was a bit grindy, I would anticipate that they're going to do some pretty cool stuff, maybe some nice quests and actual loot rewards that we can get in Festival of the Lost, which would be really awesome. So let me know your speculation about that, any hidden exotics, and the Whisper of the Worm style exotic drop that we're going to find at some point. But if you've enjoyed the video, guys, a like is super appreciated. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe if you want to see a lot of Destiny 2 content. Don't forget to check out Now Drinks in the description below. They do some really tasty stuff, and you can get that discount using my link, which you'll find in the description. But for now, whatever you guys get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.